Hey, this is Peter, aka Deuce. You can find me on Instagram at Deuce Bradshaw or at Tampa Photographer. I'm here today with my main man at Jason Allen 127 and our model Virginia at Pink Sparkling Glitter. And we're here today to do the One Reflector Challenge.
So, had a small snafu with audio. We're back up and running, and now we've had a small snafu with the zipper on the reflector. So I guess I'm gonna have to go with the champagne colored side. Deuce did it in 2 pieces. I'm gonna have to do it in 2 pieces. Unfortunately, his was a little bit more functional. $20 on Amazon doesn't get you much, but it gets you in the business at least. I'm gonna have you stand in right about where the middle of his shadow is, and we're gonna shoot straight down this way. So you're gonna look towards me over here. I'm gonna be bouncing a lot of light your way from this side here, high and wide, so it's gonna be very bright. So Deuce went with a nifty 50 for his shots. I'm going with my 70-200 because we have this gorgeous backdrop here that just goes for hundreds of yards with some willow trees. And I'm gonna put Virginia here in the sun so we get a little bit of rim lighting on her, some background separation, because in the shade there in the background, it's gonna contrast really nicely against her dark hair. So I'm going with the champagne colored side of the reflector. I was actually thinking about using the mostly silver side or the white reflector inside, but the zipper is snapped. So we'll work with that. But it's gonna add a nice warming tone to Virginia's skin tones. And yeah, I'm gonna use the C-stand to hold it so I can be farther back and really get some long focal length with the 70-200. So Virginia, if I could get you to come over here and turn your shoulders and feet towards me. So one of the often unsung heroes of photography and video production is the mighty C-stand. Now the C-stand is a really important piece of gear that I think every photographer should own. Sure, it's easy when you're first starting out to kind of MacGyver things with lighter weight stands. But here's the thing, the stuff you're putting on the stands is often more expensive than what you'd want to be replacing. So you got to ask yourself, like, what's a better way of saving money? Cheap stand or, you know, cheap gear on the stand that you don't mind dropping on concrete or dropping into water or wherever, however. All right, so one of the important things about a C-stand is how heavy it is, because you often don't need to bring a sandbag on location when you're working with one, unless you're putting something super heavy up in the air, aloft. Now, rigging a C-stand for the first time seems a little daunting. It's like working with a lot of plumbing parts. It's really sturdy, really heavy duty, and you know, there's a lot of knobs on it. And you want to make sure that when you tighten down your gripped knuckles, if you have any load on it, you put the weight on it in such a way that it turns righty-tighty as it falls. Now, the nice thing about that is if it's starting to slip at all, like right now we have this reflector here on about a 45-degree angle. When this starts putting some weight on it, I'm tilting it down towards me because I'm vertically challenged, though I could probably just lower it. When it starts to slip, it's going to tighten itself and it's going to stop moving. So if you're putting something heavy up there like a Profoto B1 strobe, or you know, even a speed light with a modifier like a beauty dish on there, it's going to keep it from whacking your subject in the head. That's a bad day on set. So I'm going to bring this up here and bring it into frame so that it lights Virginia's face from a relatively high angle. I want it to mimic sunlight and kind of simulate that same feel of warm, very directional light, but using the directional sunlight as rim lighting on the back. So now that we have the stand secured in a way that it's not going to drop the reflector on Virginia, I'm going to swing it in, and I'm looking to see where the light's falling, foot level here. And then I'm going to bring this up and into frame so that the light is painting and filling in her face, so that we're not shooting just shadows there. So with the sun directly at her back there, point your feet and your shoulders towards me, please. Great. with her feet and her shoulders squared towards me. She's getting warm golden glow from this reflector. It's high up enough above eye line. It's hopefully not too aggressive or in your face, right? Can you point your chin line towards me over here? Great. Now you can see there's still that model light where you have jawline separation, but you also have that rim lighting from the sun behind her, which is going to do some really nice things with her hair color. All right, so we're now ready to shoot, and we should be able to move a little faster here. We got a great backdrop behind Virginia, a lot of different flora and plants back there on the left side, and then we're going to pivot and shoot to the right, which has a much longer throw, and I'm going to go farther back for that, so we could use a 200mm focal length. We're going to start off with some head and shoulder shots here. So let me get underneath my reflector. Alrighty. So if you'll point your feet towards the C-stand here, just kind of natural, normal spacing, about shoulder width apart, great. And bring your left shoulder towards me. Yep, just like that, lean in a little bit. Beautiful. And let me relock that lens on there. Okay, so you're looking right here on camera, click. Give me something different. Mix it up a little bit. And you have a couple flyaway hairs on that side. If you could just kind of smooth. I know, it's not, yeah, we're filming in Florida, but when we say we have flyaways, we're not talking about mosquitoes with Zika. We're talking about the little tiny stray hairs, like when you're on location and humidity is 100% like it is today, anyone is gonna have frizzy hair. Even if they have tons of product in it, even if they normally have straight hair, stuff's gonna stand up straight in the air. So it's important to pay attention that your subject's hair is looking as good as their facial expressions and their posing, because little things like that are very difficult to Photoshop out because they're only a pixel or two wide, and you're gonna just be chasing stray hairs all day long. So we're gonna get shooting here. So we're gonna start in close. So this is all head and shoulders. You can relax your arms and give me a kind of serious one. A little bit of serious, a little bit of attitude. Good there. Oh.
Sun's going in.
And the trouble with shooting with available light, sometimes the sun doesn't always cooperate, so we're gonna have to wait for that to come back in a second. It's just a little passing puffy cloud. And I'm shooting underneath my reflector and just to the right of my C-stand. It's barely there, just above my frame, and I'm gonna take a shot here so we can actually see how close I'm getting. Great. So for this one, if you could do your left leg pointed towards me like you were doing your other left. Okay. Yep. So your other left, this side. Yep. So point your leg towards me, and your other leg just kind of turn outwards on about a 45-degree angle. Good. So what I'm doing is I'm positioning Virginia so that she's squared towards the light, and what that's doing is making sure she has that key lighting hitting her just right, and chin line towards me, and I'm being very careful not to catch sunlight on the side of her face because we're in direct sunlight there. We're effectively doing a two-light setup. Beautiful. Good, I like that shift. Go back to that last pose and fingers together. Just where your hand was, just kind of bring your fingers together a little bit closer. Good. Nice big smile. And give me serious, give me a little attitude on that. Beautiful with the eyebrow, a little bit of an eyebrow lift there. Chin up, up more, up more. And tilt your head just a little bit this way. Oop, small movements. Chin line this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Right there, hold that. Beautiful, 1, 2, 3. And give me a laugh like you own the place, like beautiful, beautiful. So chin up. I like the looking up and away that way, like towards the top of that bridge tower is where I want your eye line. And beautiful, just like that. And we got some nice full length shots, and I'm gonna quick pivot here. So the nice thing about reflectors is the light doesn't change too much when you move it, but you have to just change the angle on it to make sure it's hitting your subject. So I'm going to rotate this back in, and now we're gonna leverage these willow trees here. So for this one, it's gonna be very important that you point your feet towards where I am here. Good. And in fact, bring your left leg back just a little bit to kind of bring this shoulder towards me. Great. What that's doing, we're trying to, again, keep that direct sunlight off of her face. And we're looking towards these willow trees in the background here. We have a very, very long throw of almost 200 yards there. So I'm gonna be able to step back, really roll it into a tight focal length. I'm at 135 millimeter here. And I'm wide open at f2.8, but I'm getting such fast shutter speeds, even at ISO 100, that I'm not too worried about sharpness. This is a very sharp lens wide open. Okay, smile, beautiful, and pivot a little, just a small amount, just a little bit towards me.
Like this?
Yep. Yep, you can move your feet too. Good. And this is poking into frame here, so we'll get those out of the way. Let's see. Bear with me one sec. Okay. I'm gonna have to pivot where the stand is to get the angle that I want. Great. Beautiful, I like that. That's a catalog shot right there. Good posing, good posing. Now the nice thing about shooting at 200 millimeter or close to it, when you are so far zoomed in, if you'll bring your chin line either straight towards me or just over this way a little bit, and chin down, but kind of lean a little bit forward. Good, just like that, beautiful. When you're shooting at or near 200 millimeter, there's so much background compression behind your subject that you're just pulling content in from miles back. Beautiful. Give me one more at that last pose with the head tilt this way. I like the looking off version of that, but if you could do it with your hand together instead of the finger.
I'll do like this.
Just kind of more relaxed hand, like you're holding a roll of quarters. And then just kind of put your forefinger knuckle right there by your chin, just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Okay, hold that for just a sec. Okay, and then just for grins and giggles, let's do, are you able to do a jumping shot or not with the heels?
One smiling and happy?
Yeah.
Like that? Or you want to run and jump?
No, not a run and jump. Small movement on the arms because we can't go too wide.
Okay.
So try and keep it below the top of your head height. Yes. Okay. Little happy jump just like that.
Tell me when to go.
Okay. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go. One more. 3, 2, 1, go. One more. 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, Virginia, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awesome work today. So we took a lot of shots out here in the Florida heat and we've been dodging mosquitoes all morning. We're gonna kick it back to the dojo and take a look through Deuce's shots as well as my own. Thank you very much to Virginia for being an awesome trooper.
Thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome.